Medieval timber framed. In many old German towns, you'll see houses built with wooden frames filled with plaster or brick. Builders used heavy oak wood with diagonal supports that create pretty patterns on the front of houses. These homes have steep roofs and small windows to keep warm and stay protected. Places like the Harz Mountains still have amazing examples of this old building style. Renaissance. In the 1400s and 1500s, rich city people started copying ideas from Italy. Houses became more balanced and organized instead of messy medieval styles. You'd see stone window frames and carved decorations, plus triangular shapes and small columns around doors. Cities like Nuremberg mixed German traditions with fancy new Italian ideas. Baroque. Starting in the late 1600s, Baroque style brought dramatic curves and bold decorations to German homes. While most people think of Baroque in palaces and churches, rich families also built fancy Baroque houses. These had sweeping rooflines, heavily carved fronts, and elaborate decorated ceilings, especially in Catholic areas like Bavaria. The goal was to show off wealth and power. Rococo. Coming from Baroque, Rococo was popular in the 1700s. It was lighter, more playful, and full of fun details. Inside, rooms had soft pastel colors, delicate plasterwork, and gold-covered mirrors. Outside, you might see graceful swirls or uneven window frames. This style was big in royal towns like Dresden, where smaller mansions showed off elegant decoration. Biedermeier. From about 1815 to 1848, middle-class families liked Biedermeier style. It focused on comfort and simple elegance. Houses looked plainer with evenly spaced windows and smooth walls. Inside, they used warm, light wood furniture and simple fabrics. This was a reaction against the fancy Baroque and Rococo styles, focusing on practical, cozy living spaces. Gründerzeit. After Germany united in 1871, an economic boom created rapid city growth called the Gründerzeit founders period. Whole neighborhoods popped up with tall apartment buildings featuring decorative fronts, big windows, and grand entrances. Architects mixed different historical styles together. Cities like Berlin and Hamburg still have large Gründerzeit areas with fancy balconies and high ceilings. Wilhelminian. During the time of Emperors Wilhelm I and II, this style was even more grand than Gründerzeit. Apartment buildings and houses had heavy decorations, big bay windows, sculptures, and richly decorated rooftops. Some had impressive corner towers, showing a desire to display power. You'll see this style on fancy streets in major cities. Jugendstil. From 1895 to 1910, Jugendstil was Germany's version of Art Nouveau. Architects loved flowing lines, natural shapes, and flower patterns. Common features were curved bay windows, iron balconies that looked like vines, and stained glass panels with flowers. This style appeared mainly in cultural cities like Munich, offering a softer, more artistic alternative to heavy Wilhelminian design. Expressionist. In the early 1900s, some German architects tried bold shapes and dramatic angles. Expressionist houses are rare, but you can spot them by brick walls in creative patterns, pointed roofs, and windows that aren't regular rectangles. This style aimed to create emotion and movement, often abandoning balanced design. Hamburg's Chili House is a famous example. Bauhaus. From 1919 to 1933, the Bauhaus movement changed design in Germany and worldwide. Bauhaus houses had flat roofs, cube shapes, and open floor plans with almost no decoration. They used industrial materials like steel and glass, focusing on function and efficient use of space. These homes were seen as radical departures from traditional styles, emphasizing clarity and mass production. Neue Sachlichkeit, new objectivity. Alongside Bauhaus in the 1920s and early 1930s, new objectivity also promoted simple lines and practical design. Unlike Bauhaus, These architects often kept traditional layouts while still avoiding fancy decoration. Buildings had smooth fronts, well-proportioned windows, and restrained colors. This appealed to conservative people who wanted modern comfort without completely abandoning familiar forms. Heimatstil. During the 1930s and early 1940s, the government heavily influenced architecture. Everyday housing often brought back traditional elements like steep roofs and exposed wooden beams, trying to evoke a romanticized rural Germany. Decoration was modest, sometimes including small arched doorways or simple wood carvings. Post-war West. After World War II, West Germany needed to rebuild bombed cities quickly. Fast construction led to functional, plain housing blocks called Siedlungen. Architects used standardized floor plans, precast concrete, and simple fronts to speed up building. While some areas later added color or decorative elements, early post-war housing often looked stark but provided much-needed homes quickly. Plattenbau. In East Germany, large prefabricated apartment buildings called Plattenbau were built. Concrete slabs were put together on site, creating uniform high-rises that dominated city skylines in places like East Berlin and Dresden. Though space-efficient, these blocks could feel impersonal. East German planners later tried to improve designs by adding variety or green spaces. Mid-century modern. As West Germany's economy improved in the 1950s and 1960s, architects explored lighter, more open home designs. Flat or low roofs, large windows, and airy interiors became popular. Steel frames and prefab elements allowed for innovative layouts, including split-level floors and open living areas. Many suburban neighborhoods still have clusters of these mid-century homes. 1970s suburban. During the 1970s, prosperity and car ownership encouraged suburban growth. Single-family homes with pitched roofs and big gardens spread around city edges. Split-level designs stayed popular, and open-concept living rooms became normal. Large windows showed off gardens, and better insulation helped with energy costs. Postmodern. By the late 1970s and 1980s, some architects got tired of modernism's strict minimalism. Postmodern houses introduced playful shapes, bright colors, and fun references to historical styles. Fronts might include exaggerated arches, small columns, or decorative triangular elements. This brought back ornament and individuality to home design. Modern timber. Recent years have seen renewed interest in wood construction, thanks to engineered products like cross-laminated timber. This allows for multi-story buildings with a warm, natural feel. Homes might have exposed timber beams inside, highlighting the wood's texture. Exterior fronts may combine timber cladding with glass, balancing traditional craftsmanship with modern lines.